G'day, I'm Vaughan Blakey and welcome to this very special romantic episode of Surfing Australia TV. Only joking, it's full of shred, yeah! Today, we check in with Reeftip's contribution to protecting the Great Barrier Reef. We profile South Oz shredder King Cairns at the Woolworths State Junior Titles. The Usher Cup returns to Cooley for another sick event. And we check out Dan Scott's director's cut of his epic girls surf film, Surfing. And first up, we check in with Reeftip at URBNSURF to find out how they are contributing to the regeneration of the Great Barrier Reef.
It's amazing to see an organisation like Reeftip contributing some of the money that they make from their sales into saving the reef, because we've got such an amazing reef in Australia. It'd be sad to lose it.
Yeah, I think that's great. As a big fan of liquid, and I think if we could put some of the profits back into the oceans, and that's my kind of brand.
I think it's awesome, Reeftip being an Australian brand, for them to be contributing to saving such an iconic part of Australia's coastline as the Barrier Reef, and keeping it there for future generations, because it'd be sad if our kids and kids' kids didn't get to see it.
We need to think about the future, we need to think about our kids, and what I'm doing is I recycle a lot. I try to use sunscreens that don't damage the ocean. Just be conscious when we are at the beach and we are taking our stuff. Remember to take them back home as well, you know? Don't leave anything at the beach and just take care.
As a surfer, I think it's so important for us to protect our environment and our oceans. We get so much joy out of surfing, so for me, like picking up rubbish down the beach, encouraging other people, encouraging kids that I work with to pick up rubbish, just any little bit helps, and we can all do our part.
That's awesome that Reeftip's getting behind Australian surfing and supporting the board riders clubs, and days like this is really special for all the locals from down the beach and all over Melbourne, and that's a great thing they're getting behind. Thanks, guys.
Another company utilising the perfect waves at URBNSURF is Macquarie Sports, who hosted the Surf for Life program. A bunch of lucky participants spent the day learning to surf in the perfect conditions.
Macquarie Sports has been working with Surfing Australia for 7 years now. And in that time, we've had hundreds and hundreds of kids from various charities and community groups around the country come together and participate in really fun surfing sessions like we have here today. Today's clinic is really special because we're joined by kids from MITS, which is the Melbourne Indigenous Transition School. And MITS is a grant partner of our Macquarie Group Foundation. So it's really nice to have the kids here, reward them after a really challenging couple of years during the pandemic, and really just deepen the connection between Macquarie and MITS.
What we're giving the children today, or the students today, is an opportunity to try new things, just to get out of their comfort zone. Many of them are thousands of kilometres away from home in their communities here in Melbourne, and working with Macquarie to give them an opportunity to experience the surf and build up their resilience and self-confidence.
We're from the NT, I'm from Kakadu. The most thing I'm excited about is going to the wave pool and hang out with my friends and see if I can balance on the surfboard. This is my first time and out of the NT.
This is my first time surfing. We don't have beaches there, that you can swim in. There's crocodiles and sharks up there. My favourite thing about today was getting out there, surfing, getting wiped out by a few waves. After surfing, I feel pretty excited. Some of us, I think, want to get back out there and have another go at it.
Surfing's a fun sport. It gets kids out of their comfort zone a little bit. They're faced with some challenges with big waves and different conditions. But afterwards, they're really happy and satisfied with what they've achieved in the water, and that's what we're all about supporting.
Woo! Perfect waves at URBNSURF, man. It doesn't get any better than that. Well, before we go to the break, it's time to check in with junior surfing core lord from South Australia, King Cairns. Woo! Oh!
name is King Cairns, I'm 13 years old and I'm from Seaford, South Australia.
Yeah, I remember the first time I met Kingy, he kind of came out of nowhere. Over the last few years, Kingy's progressed heaps far. He's really started surfing in some bigger waves and pushing himself.
We're down at Parsons Headland and it's looking pretty fun. This morning it was a bit bigger, but now the swell's dropping off a bit, probably to do with the tide, but should still be a fun day.
If I could describe King surfing in a couple words, I reckon it would be hungry and aggressive. It's definitely hungry in the lineup. It's good to see that there's a nice next gen of surfers coming up.
People think he's just gung-ho and no fear, but he's quite a calculated character. He looks up to a range of these older guys that, you know, that go bigger waves, and he looks up to that kind of stuff.
Welcome back to Surfing Australia TV. Now in its second year, the Usher Cup is shaping up to be one of the biggest board riding club challenges in the world. And we're going to throw it over to Vaughan Rince-Corn-Deadly at Snapper Rocks on the Goldie for all the action. Over to you, Vaughno. I'm Vaughan Blakey, and today we're coming to you live from the Usher Cup, a grassroots board riding extravaganza dedicated to helping the community and sharing the love with the board riders clubs from around Australia. It doesn't get any better.
Well, we're back. Second instalment of the Usher Cup. We're super excited about it. We're just so happy to be bringing this event back to the community, especially at Snapper Rocks. We're just super stoked about it.
You know, Theo's so passionate, and you know, you can see he's just frothing for the event, and he loves surfing, he loves the charities, loves the clubs. This year we've raised $110,000 for 10 different charities, all local ones, non-government funding.
It just shows us how much the community here on the Gold Coast gets behind the Usher Cup. They know the model, they know what we do. It's just so much love and froth in the air, it's just epic.
You know, with the money that's thrown into it, it's really good. And we got like, what, 144 athletes? So it's a healthy pool of, you know, up-and-coming Australian surfers.
This is so good. It doesn't get much better than surfing a contest out at Snapper. This is what dreams are made of. I remember my first trials event for the Snapper Pro, and then being on tour, surfing my first event here. So it's a special place.
Snapper Rocks Surf Riders Club is really proud to host the event. You know, to have the event at Snapper itself is pretty special. And to bring all the clubs together and competing for your colours and your club colours, yeah, there's a lot of pride in that.
I love surfing for Eminem. I've been a part of that club for I think maybe over 8 years since I was little grum. So I love the family vibe that they have, and it's super good to be a part of a good club.
We've got over 350 members. We've got a really good junior development program, and I honestly think what makes us the best though is just the culture of the club. You know, everyone gets around each other. We love travelling together. We love travelling as a squad. We all support each other, and yeah, it's cool to come up here and showcase the talent of our club on a national stage. So we're loving it.
Unlike any other event that we know of, if you come last, there is no last, because everyone takes home some prize money. There's over $70,000 to be given out to the athletes today.
$7 grand, that's a good booster for anyone wanting to do the regional events coming up. So.
It's huge. That adds so much pressure. It's unbelievable. $7,000 is, yeah, that would definitely kickstart my year and be so helpful for, yeah, my plans for the rest of the year.
I love it as equal prize money for the women. I think that's really special, and yeah, I'm just super happy to be involved.
know what, it was just good to keep making heats and keep getting the surf out at snapper. Like, it's my favourite break in the world, so that was a bonus. And then, yeah, to come away with a win, like, yeah, I guess I got lucky in that 30-second period and no one else is on those waves. So, yeah, very grateful, very happy. It's a great start to the year.
I'm really happy to win with Sheldon, and that doesn't happen very often at all to anyone. So, yeah, it's really special, and I think it's even more special that we did it here on the Gold Coast at Coolangatta. He's born and raised here, so that's really special.
Oh, yes! Welcome back to Surfing Australia TV. Well, with their wings clipped over the past couple of years, filmmakers have had to pivot and rethink their projects. Gold Coast-based lensman Dan Scott was lucky enough to spend his time with some of the most powerful women shredders in the world to make what would be one of the surf films of the year. And we're lucky enough to have a 7-minute edit of his masterpiece, Surfing. Check it out. Welcome back to Surfing Australia TV. Well, it's been a huge show and we couldn't think of a better way to end than with a visual feast from Surfing Australia's Limitless Camp. 5 of Australia's best next-gen surfers absolutely tearing it up. You little ripper!
Let's go. Let's get it. We're about to get it. Yo. Back like I never left. With no rain, rust, nobody get a job done like the king does. Feel that quick rush running through your veins. It's insane how I keep it going, yeah, we maintain. Top level, done rebels, we will not settle. Got on lock level, make you pop like a hot kettle. It's incredible, read them all like a nursery rhyme. That's why we gotta do it perfect this time. Learn what you like, it's showdown time. The spotlight's on, yeah, sold out mine. I do my sit-ups and my press-ups, and you're with it, and I wanna see you giddy up and get up. Nobody is forever, you gotta make it count. Get around, make them bounce, they can never hold us down. I do my sit-ups and my press-ups, and you're with it, and I wanna see you giddy up and get up. Nobody is forever, you gotta make it count. Get around, make them bounce, they can never hold us down. Back like I never left, with no rain, rust, nobody get a job done like the king does. Feel that quick rush running through your veins. It's insane how I keep it going, yeah, we maintain. Back like I never left, with no rain, rust, nobody get a job done like the king does. Feel that quick rush running through your veins. It's insane how I keep it going, yeah, we maintain. I'll start to tell them, get ready for the Armageddon. Armed with weapons like we setting up to target them. And they wanna take our hearts and every little part embedded. But we don't chance it, we just did them till they start again. And I do my sit-ups and my press-ups, and get with it, and I wanna see you giddy up and get up. Nobody is forever, you gotta make it count. Get around, make them bounce, they can never hold us down. Back like I never left, with no rain, rust, nobody get a job done like the king does. Feel that quick rush running through your veins. It's insane how I keep it going, yeah, we maintain. Back like I never left, with no rain, rust, nobody get a job done like the king does. Feel that quick rush running through your veins. It's insane how I keep it going, yeah, we maintain.
Well, that's it for another episode of Surfing Australia TV. I'm Vaughan Blakey. See you again next week. Sand Angels! Sand Angels, everybody! Come and make Sand Angels!